More young people have been engaged in this government than the previous government.
On the news tonight, government will support you to reach your potential. Vice President Kashim Shettima tells Nigerian youth. Youth Development, Vice President Shettima hosts Nigerian youths. And Tripartite Committee on National Minimum Wage to submit recommendations this week. Lawmakers urge Nigerians to participate in public hearing and make their voices heard. Hello and thank you for joining us on the Network News on NTA. I'm Naja'atu Tijani. Reading with me tonight on Business News is Musa Abubakar. Remember that this broadcast is being streamed live on our YouTube channel. You can catch the replay anytime and do follow us across all social media platforms. And now we begin with youth development and empowerment. Vice President Kashim Shettima has restated the commitment of President Tinubu's administration to supporting Nigerian youth to reach their potential and contribute to the growth and development of the country. The Vice President stated this when he received the executive members of the National Youth Council of Nigeria at the Presidential Villa. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
This visit is coming as the National Youth Council of Nigeria is set to celebrate its 60th anniversary in November this year. Commending the council for its support of the programs and activities of the Tinubu administration, Vice President Kashim Shettima said Nigeria, being growing democracy, will accord the youth that constitute nearly 75% of the population the needed opportunity. 60 years for an organization to remain vibrant and still standing, Vice President Kashim Shettima said is a significant milestone, and believing in the Nigeria project is the way to go, with series of opportunities lined up, such as the IDICE project that will create digital jobs. Leader of the delegation expressed the council's readiness to collaborate with the federal government in addressing the issues of illegal oil bunkering and other social vices.
I believe that when he wants to talk about youth, currently we have gotten more from the present government than the previous government. More young people have been engaged in this government than the previous government. That one we give it to the president.
The National Youth Council of Nigeria is made up of 104 affiliate member youth organizations, a 27-member National Executive Council, 36 state chapters, and FCT chapter, as well as 774 coordinators in all the local government areas in Nigeria. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Tripartite Committee on National Minimum Wage has concluded its assignment and submitted its report to the Secretary to the Government of the Federation this Monday, 10th June 2024. A formal presentation of the report will be made to President Bola Tinubu for appropriate action when the leadership of the organized labor, as well as representatives of government and organized private sector who are presently in Geneva, Switzerland for the ongoing International Labour Organization Conference, return to the country. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation thanks the Chairman of the committee, Bukar Goni Aji, and members of the committee for their commitment and sacrifice. Recall that President Tinubu inaugurated the 37-member Tripartite Committee on National Minimum Wage on Tuesday, 30th January 2024, in accordance with the provisions of the Minimum Wage Act 2019. The committee was tasked with the responsibility of recommending a new national minimum wage for Nigerian workers in public and private sectors. The Niger Delta Development Commission is partnering the private sector to sustain development initiatives in the region while defending the 1.9 trillion 2024 budget proposal before the Senate Committee on Niger Delta. The Managing Director, Dr. Samuel Ubuku, said completing ongoing projects takes priority for desired transformation.
The previously line item budgeting system to sectoral allocation of funds to encourage performance, and we are confident that this will show up productivity.
Commend the MD on the number of people you have sent out to go abroad to be educated by the Niger Delta Development Commission. Who did the need assessment? The need assessment of these items in the budget.
Chairman of the Senate Committee on NDDC, Senator Asukwo Ekpeyong, said President Tinubu has directed the commission to assess projects in order to resolve issues of variation with contractors.
Images nationally due to delayed or non-payment of contractors who were duly engaged, executed their contracts. What is it in this budget, or how do you intend to mitigate these issues?
Meanwhile, the NDDC gives reassurance that it will, in the next 10 years, allocate 100 million naira each year for debt repayment. A group of 35 lawmakers in the House of Representatives is seeking the support of Nigerians in several constitution alteration bills, proposing single tenure of 6 years for the president and state governors. At a press briefing on the bills, spokesperson for the group, known as Reform-Minded Lawmakers, Ikeagwonu Ugochinyere, said part of the reforms being proposed are rotation of executive powers among the 6 geopolitical zones to ensure equal representation, as well as constitutional amendment to create the office of 2 vice presidents from the southern and northern parts of Nigeria. The political and electoral bills, which have passed first reading at the Green Chamber, also proposes all elections are held on the same day.
A single tenure of 6 years, rotation of power between north and south and among the geopolitical zones and the senatorial zones for the governorship. And also single tenure for the presidency and single tenure for the governorship, 6 years. Removing the billions we spend in re-election and the uncertainty it brings to the electoral process, plus the corruption it also brings. And also, we are seeking for all elections to be conducted in one day, reducing the cost of conducting election, getting more citizens involved on election day, and reducing to the barest minimum the possibility of rigging, because you will have those interested in the presidency, in the governorship, in the state assembly, in the national assembly, in the local government, all turning up to vote for their different candidates. Each of the polling units will be populated, and that can help to provide a lot of defense. And we're also pushing for all pre-election matters to be settled 30 days before election to avoid a situation that people are sworn in and we are still in court on who is the candidate of that political party. And also that post-election litigation should focus only on the outcome of the election, not on the things that happen before the primaries.
The harrowing experience of going through court processes. After you are being sworn in, you will still be in court. Some people have spent 6 months before they were pushed out by the courts. We are now saying let all these processes be concluded before members are inaugurated or sworn in.
The lawmakers urge Nigerians to participate actively at the public hearing of the various bills to make their input. The ECOWAS Community Court sitting in Abuja has dismissed the suit filed by former National Security Advisor Sambo Dasuki seeking an order compelling the federal government to enforce its verdict delivered in his favor on October 4, 2016. In his verdict, the judge rapporteur Sengu Koroma dismissed the application on the grounds that the court lacked jurisdiction to entertain or enforce the earlier judgment. Koroma held that the court was guided by laid-down procedures regarding the enforcement of its judgments as enshrined in the community law and proper party to institute an enforcement failure claim. The court thereby held that having thoroughly assessed the claims and its constitutive text, lacked the competence to adjudicate on the present claim. The Community Court, in its verdict on October 4, 2016, declared Sambo Dasuki's arrest and detention by the federal government unlawful and a violation of his rights. Now, Nigeria's capacity to meet current demand for haulage vehicles and scale local content in the automobile industry is now feasible with the inauguration of the Dangote Sinotruck Complete Knockdown Assembly Plant in Ikeja, Lagos. President of Dangote Industries, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, says the value addition of the plant, which has a capacity to produce 10,000 trucks, will help the nation's economy gain mileage as it marches towards the $1 trillion economy by year 2030. Joel Popola reports.
Give me a no. Give me a D. Then all pronounce God.
Another milestone achievement by Dangote Industries, providing solutions to the automobile deficit in Nigeria, especially with the increasing demand for trucks by various sectors of the nation's economy. The plant is designed to assemble trucks of the highest quality in line with international standards. The president of the Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko, who has invested over $100 million in the Dangote Sinotruck CKD assembly plant, owning 60% of the company, is targeting domestic self-sufficiency with its current capacity of 10,000 trucks annually. More, he says, can be achieved with the completion of Ajaokuta Steel Company.
In the next 12 months, we will begin to fabricate different types of trailers and tippers bodies in our plant to increase value addition of up to 40 to 60%, with the goal to achieve domestic self-sufficiency and serve the West African regional market.
The Senate President and the Governor of Lagos State assured of provision of a business-friendly environment that will continue to drive value addition by the Dangote Industries.
For us to get to the point of taking over 5 million or 10 million Nigerians off the street and giving them gainful employment, we must encourage investments like this.
The orange compactor trucks that we're seeing on the road in Lagos, they were all manufactured and put together in these same premises. We have also publicly made another order for 100 trucks.
With the inauguration, partners in the project are already thinking of scaling up capacity.
Now with the first complete knockdown plant in Nigeria, so our capacity will go more than 30,000 truck per annum.
Dangote Sinotruck was built to produce commercial vehicles and has plans to commence the production of semi-trailers, tankers, and related products. In Lagos, Joel Popola, NTA News.
From transportation to appointments, and President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of DIG Hashimu Arugungu, retired, as the chairman of the Police Service Commission. The president has also approved the appointment of Chief Onyemuche Nnamani as secretary and DIG Taiwo Lakonu, retired, as member of the commission. The appointments are subject to confirmation by the Senate. Other members of the Police Service Commission will be appointed in due course. Meanwhile, the president has also approved the appointment of Muhammad Shaidu as the executive secretary of the Nigeria Police Trust Fund with immediate effect. The president expects absolute demonstration of integrity, diligence, and patriotic zeal in the discharge of these important functions for the overall well-being of the Nigeria Police and the nation. This is the network news on NTA. Stay tuned for more reports after this timeout. Hope of realizing the 8 priority areas of the current administration has been raised with the inauguration of the Committee for Review and Harmonization of Sectoral Policies. Kenneth Nanim reports that the committee, under the supervision of the Special Advisor to the President on Policy Coordination, Hadiza Bala Usman, has commenced with an inaugural meeting.
Policy harmonization is key to the success of any administration. Conscious of this fact, President Tinubu set up a committee for the review and harmonization of sectoral policies, especially in the areas where administrative gaps and duplication of policies have been identified.
We're going to lean on subject matter experts across the sectors. We're going to work with the respective ministries and heads of agencies to see what needs to be done to enhance our policy deployment across the sectors and ministries of federal government.
To review policies that are not in tandem with current realities regarding the 8 priority areas of the current administration is also in the terms of reference for the committee. To achieve all of these, the committee has 12 to 18 weeks to develop a clear template of the structural framework of how a sectoral policy should read.
We will ensure that cross-sectoral issues having contradictions in our policies will also be resolved at the end of the efforts we are trying to put in.
Membership of the committee include Secretary to the Government of the Federation, representatives from the Office of the Vice President and the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Kuru, Jos. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
The federal government is adopting more preventive measures towards curbing trafficking of the underage, including prosecution of parents, among other measures. The Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy Ohanenye, gave this information while reacting to the trending video of underage Nigerian girls allegedly trapped in Ghana for prostitution. Ngozi Technical reports.
With the disturbing video of Nigerian girls being used as prostitutes in Ghana, Women Affairs Minister had to pay an unscheduled visit to Ghanaian embassy to discuss ways of rescuing the girls, while other measures will follow.
The first thing I should do this morning is to come to Ghana embassy. We need to work together and see how we're going to bring back these people.
Next is her visit to NAPTIP office, where she was received by the Director General. After a closed-door deliberation, the women agreed on the following resolutions.
Of the girls in Ghana, we are in touch with the Ghanaian anti-human trafficking unit. The girls have been secured, the girls are safe, the perpetrator has been arrested. Communities and even families have more role to play.
So the new narrative is, if you're caught, fine, we're going to help you. Through her, we'll work together as a partner and we'll help you, but your parents will be prosecuted. Those kids are caught and they mentioned the name of your vehicle, that was what transported them to Ghana or any other place, or the name of your airline, you will equally be prosecuted.
While stating that henceforth, serious consequences will be meted out to all parties involved in the crime, they warned girls, and more importantly, parents, to be aware of the red flags in the unrealistic promises used by perpetrators to lure their victims. In Abuja, Ngozi Technical, NTA News.
Now let's shine the spotlight on activities of governors, beginning with Yobe State Governor Mai Mala Buni, who has thrown his weight behind the move to restore local government autonomy in the country, saying the council areas will be better off if they can improve their revenue generation to further facilitate execution of developmental projects at the grassroots. Governor Buni made this known at the swearing-in ceremony of the newly elected 17 local government chairmen in the state. Yunus Suleiman was there for NTA News.
These are the faces of the newly elected chairman of the 17 local government areas of Yobe State, taking oaths of office and allegiance before the state governor Mai Mala Buni after emerging winners on the platform of APC in the just concluded local government council's election. By taking the oaths, all eyes are now on the chairman to drive the agenda of good governance as well as deepen democratic values at the grassroots level for the socio-economic development of the state.
I wish to remind the chairman of the local government councils that you are required to key into our administration's development agenda, providing empowerment opportunities to youth, women and vulnerable persons, and improving on internally generated revenue. You are also advised to promote transparency and accountability in handling local government finances, assets, and equipment.
The 17 local government councils chairmen are equally expected to swear in the 178 wards councillors in the near future to further bring government more closer to the people. In Damaturu, Yunus Suleiman, NTA News.
And from Damaturu to Lagos State, where Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has inaugurated a pediatric sickle cell center equipped with state-of-the-art facilities at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUTH. SC Onwamaka reports that the medical facility was donated to LASUTH by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, Princess Adejoke Orelope Adefulire.
According to reports, Nigeria has one of the highest rates of sickle cell disease globally, with up to 3 million people living with the condition. To this end, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the Pediatric Sickle Cell Center, facilitated by Princess Orelokwe at Defulere, will raise the capacity of medical services and contribute to improving infant and maternal mortality index in the state.
And I believe this is a testament to all of our collective commitments to improving healthcare, the outcomes that it has on our children, and of course, all the conversation around sickle cell diseases.
This center is designed to offer comprehensive care from early diagnosis and treatment to ongoing management and support for patients and their families.
On her part, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, Princess Orelokwe Defulere, noted that the center is an intervention to reduce child mortality and strengthen the attainment of SDG targets in the country.
It is pertinent to state that awareness, knowledge and skill among the public health workers, as well as the parents, for people living with disorder are critical to reduction in stigmatization, improvement in care, and the best practice outcome.
The establishment of this center will take a huge chunk of load off our usually crowded pediatric clinics and wards.
Pediatric Sickle Cell Center, donated by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, Princess Orelokwe Defulere, is equipped with clinical wards, admission rooms, daycare center, and educational and research hub. In Lagos, S.A. Owomaka, NT News.
Now let's go back to the trending issue of underage girls being trafficked in Ghana, allegedly. The chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, has condemned what she calls modern-day slavery following the intervention concerning 10 Nigerian girls trafficked to Ghana for prostitution. Under the guise of sales girls, Dabiri-Erewa said this when she visited Ghana to address the rescue of the Nigerian girls. Commending the chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Organization Ghana, Callistus Eleuzua, and his team, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, emphasized the need for a permanent solution to eradicating human trafficking in Nigeria.
When you make a mistake, it doesn't stop the rest of your life. Now, it depends on you to make a change. I'm here to tell you that the Imo State government is willing to partner with you to change your life.
You guys are very lucky. You have a fantastic governor, a wonderful, his wife is also wonderful. Thank you so much. And for this one from Plateau, the governor called me yesterday, and I'm going to call the Commissioner for Women Affairs, and she's going to speak with you on a video call once I'm done. So, like both of them have said, this is the beginning, by the grace of God, of greater things in your life. Whoever did this to you will not prosper. Amen. Traffickers will be shamed. Amen. And we have said today we will declare a war against human trafficking.
Be an agent of change to open their eyes and let them know it's not real. Yes. Let them look for need where they are. Let them communicate, and anywhere they are, we must make sure they are rescued. Amen. So if you don't do this,
the chairman urges parents to always question the whereabouts of their children when taken away by relatives or friends, and encourages collective efforts to ensure traffickers are named and arrested. The NIDCOM boss further mentions that the rescued girls will be handed over to NAPTIP, which will in turn hand them over to their various states for counseling and rehabilitation. This is the network news on NTA. Before we take a break, though, congratulations are in order as President Bola Tinubu extends greetings to elder statesman Chief Arthur Christopher Mbanefo on his 94th birthday. Chief Mbanefo is Nigeria's former permanent representative to the United Nations and former pro-chancellor of the Universities of Lagos, Obafemi Awolowo and Ahmadu Bello. He is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. President Tinubu salutes the accomplished accountant and administrator, describing him as being from one of the finest stocks and vintage classes of Nigeria's statesmen, set apart by integrity, hard work and patriotism. The president prays for more years in excellent health for the elder statesman. We'll take a break now. The news continues in a moment. You're just in time for news from the holy city of Mecca, where the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, is hosting more than 2,300 pilgrims from more than 88 countries to perform this year's Hajj as his guests. Correspondent Tokbe Alabi reports some Nigerians are also benefiting from the gesture as part of the King's steps towards strengthening unity and brotherhood across the world.
Every year it is the tradition of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, to host pilgrims who are invited from different countries as guests. Included in the order are 1,000 pilgrims from families of martyrs, prisoners and wounded Palestinians, and 22 pilgrims from families of conjoined twins who were separated in the kingdom. I and my predecessors, my brothers, the sons of King Abdulaziz, are always honored to be the custodians of the two holy mosques. We and our people are always honored to serve the two holy mosques. The invitation is to allow guests perform Hajj and Umrah in an all-expenses-paid visit supervised and implemented annually by the Ministry of Islamic Affairs, Da'wah and Guidance. Minister of Islamic Affairs, Da'wah and Guidance and Supervisor of the guests, Dr. Abdulatif bin Abdulaziz El Sheikh, appreciated King Salman and the Crown Prince, who is also the Prime Minister, Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, for the noble royal gesture. Earlier, the Royal Embassy of Saudi Arabia in Abuja honored and bid farewell to the guests from Nigeria. The Saudi Arabian ambassador to Nigeria, Faisal Ibrahim Al-Ghamdi, says King Salman's gesture reflects the kingdom's long-standing commitment to facilitating the pilgrimage for Muslims worldwide, regardless of their demographic disparities. More than 60,000 pilgrims have been hosted through the program since its inception 26 years ago, with the kingdoms undertaking the responsibility of ensuring a safe and spiritually enriching Hajj experience for all pilgrims. From Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, Tokbe Alabi, NTA News.
The Saudi authorities have also made adequate arrangements for the safety and comfort of pilgrims at the holy sites during the Hajj exercise. Officials of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria and those of the State Pilgrim Welfare Board made this known while on a visit to the sites ahead of the forthcoming outing of the pilgrims to Mina and Arafah. Correspondent Jamilu Ibrahim reports.
This year's Hajj rites are scheduled to commence on the 14th of June, when the pilgrims will proceed to the valley of Muna to spend a night before moving to the Arafat site the following day. Officials of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria and those of some states' pilgrims' welfare boards are at the holy sites to familiarize themselves with the arrangement made by the Saudi authority ahead of the arrival of the pilgrims. It also serves as a pathfinding tour of the special arrangements made for transportation of the pilgrims to the holy sites, popularly known as Tarodudia routes. At Muna, where the pilgrims are to spend 3 to 4 days, the officials specifically inspected the tents and other basic facilities allocated to Nigeria. The officials also expressed satisfaction with the arrangements made to ensure the safety and comfort of the Nigerian pilgrims.
All these places, Arafat, Muna, Muzdalifah, there are tents that are really meant to safeguard the health and the safety against climate change and all other ills.
And we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy, will let us witness the actual day of Arafat here, and to be here with all our pilgrims to witness and to be part of those that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless.
Most of our pilgrims believe it is compulsory that they go to that mountain on that day of Arafat. Please, let's continue to sensitize them. All grounds there are classified as Arafat.
The NACON enjoins the media, Islamic clerics, and the state officials to intensify enlightenment of the pilgrims on the need to abide by the newly introduced grouping arrangements with a view to ensuring orderliness in the observance of the Hajj rites. From the holy city of Mecca and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
It's time to talk business now, and Musa Abubakar is standing by with all the details. Musa?
Thank you, Naja. Well, let's begin with revenue allocation. The Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAC, at its June 2024 meeting chaired by the Minister of Finance and Coordinator Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, shared a total sum of 1.143 trillion naira to the three tiers of government as Federation allocation for the month of May 2024 from a gross total of 2.32 trillion naira. The federal government received 365.813 billion naira. The states received 388.419 billion naira. The local government councils got 282.476 billion naira, while the oil producing state received 106.502 billion naira as derivation. The federal government is partnering states in the design and implementation of regulatory frameworks aimed at improving the nation's business environment. To this end, the Nigeria Investment Promotion Commission is proposing National Council on Investment Promotion Agencies in Nigeria for proper coordination of investment promotion activities between the federal and states. This is with a view to addressing challenges and bottlenecks hindering investment activities at the state level and finding practical solutions to enhance the investment climate.
We must also work very hard on retaining those investors that are already in Nigeria and in our states, because they work very hard. And we also want to learn from each other best practices. Some states have taken advantage of their competitive advantage, and there's no reason why others cannot learn from those lessons. Collaboration is very important.
You should collaborate because our competitors are countries around us. You know, Accra is looking to drive an investor. Kigali, Cape Town, everybody is looking to drag investors that are coming to Africa. We know that Africa is probably the last frontier that they call it. There are opportunities here and people are coming. But how are we able to work together?
And as the capital market, the equities market started the week on a bullish note to continue positive momentum after ending the previous session in green. The all-share index increased by 0.58% to 99,793.71 basis point. A total of 963 million shares in 8,657 deals corresponding to a market value of 13.4 billion naira were traded. Today's data shows 148% improvement in volume, 84% improvement in turnover, and 22% improvement in deals. Equity capitalization increased to 56.5 trillion naira. Well, that's it. The news continues after the break.
The Federal Road Maintenance Agency has repaired the damaged portion of the Second Niger Bridge to ensure safety following a viral video of attempted theft of iron accessories on the bridge. Onye Joshua Ifeanyi reports that the damaged portion did not affect the integrity of the bridge, according to the firma controller. The report.
The viral video on the activities of vandals on the Second Niger Bridge, which indicated that some of the iron accessories of the bridge have been removed and waiting to be carted away by the vandals. The Federal Road Maintenance Agency has swung into action by fixing the vandalized portion. The controller, Federal Ministry of Works, expressed his displeasure over the act. To him, citizens must stand firm against these acts of sabotage of the nation's infrastructure.
You see, government property is property for everyone. Everyone within that corridor, I encourage them to be vigilant. They should not leave security work to only government, because everybody is a beneficiary of that particular infrastructure.
I want to commend the federal government for a job well done, and most especially for their swift response in making sure that that death hole is being fished. So I've been there, I've traveled through that road.
It is hoped that Nigerians, improving their patriotism, will sincerely stop the vandalism of critical assets of the nation. Onyinye Joshua Ifeanyi, NTA News.
A military aircraft carrying Malawi's Vice President Saulos Chilima has been reported missing after it failed to make a landing Monday morning. The government, in a statement, explained that all efforts by aviation authorities to make contact with the aircraft since it went off the radar have failed so far. The statement further explains that the plane, which took off just after 9 a.m. local time, was carrying 51-year-old Chilima and 9 others. President Lazarus Chakwera has ordered regional and national forces to conduct an immediate search and rescue operation to locate the whereabouts of the aircraft. Chakwera, who was due to travel to the Bahamas for a working visit, has since cancelled his trip. In 2022, Chilima was stripped of his powers when he was arrested and charged with graft over a bribery scandal involving a British Malawian businessman. Last month, a Malawian court dropped the charges after Chilima attended several court appearances. And now for more on the global scene.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi in Cairo on Monday at the start of a regional tour to push for a much-awaited Gaza ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. A statement from the presidency said the closed-door talks attended by Egyptian intelligence chief Abbas Kamel, Sisi and Blinken discussed joint efforts to reach a ceasefire and hostage prisoner exchange deal. The two had also been expected to discuss plans to reopen the Rafah border crossing between Egypt and Gaza for aid into the besieged territory, which has been closed for a month. In other news, world leaders will gather in Switzerland this weekend to work out a way towards a peace process for Ukraine, albeit without Russia. Towards a peace process for Ukraine, the program developed by Bern draws a 10-point peace plan presented by Zelensky in late 2022. Swiss President Viola Amherd said it aims at finding paths towards a comprehensive, just and lasting peace for Ukraine based on international law and the United Nations Charter, a possible framework to achieve this goal, and a roadmap as to how both parties could come together in a future peace process. And the death toll from flooding and landslides, which happened in northern Vietnam, has reached 3 after days of heavy rain that partially submerged thousands of homes. Access to 3 communities bordering China had been cut off due to the landslides. Reports say serious flooding was also reported in northern port city of Haiphong and Quang Nhi province, where UNESCO World Heritage Site Ha Long Bay is located. Frama Panyi, NTA News.
In the world of sports, Super Eagles World Cup form dips with a loss to Benin Republic. Details and more with Austin Edemodu.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria poor form has continued in their 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers with a disappointing 2-1 defeat to the Cheetahs of Benin Republic in Abidjan. The Super Eagles had started the game on a brighter note and was rewarded with a goal from Rafael Onyedika in the 27th minute.
Anybody there? Oh, what a shot, what a goal! That is absolutely pure class from Onyedika. Brilliant goal. Gave himself a bit of space, delivered a brilliant shot.
However, the hard-fighting Benin Republic team drew level 10 minutes later with an effort from Jodel Dosu, while late-minute strike towards the end of first half from Steve Munier secured victory for Gannat Raw and his team in Abidjan.
Front post, the touch, oh, it's banged in, look at that for a goal. Steve Mooney crashes it in. A strike that is absolutely smashing into the back of the net for Benin, who take the lead.
The Super Eagles have played 4 matches in Group C without a win, having drawn previous 3 games, with a slim chance of qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Finally, in athletics, Nigeria's Favour Ofili won the 100 meters female race ahead of Moralake Akimosu by 11.18 seconds at the Continental Tour in the US. In the male category, Udodi Onwuzurike clocked 10.24 seconds to finish ahead of Kendall Williams to win the 100 meters, while world champion Tobi Amusa finished in 3rd position in 12.66 seconds behind winner Devin Charlton, who won with 12.56 seconds in the 100 meters hurdles race.
Sports Update concludes the network news on NTA. Thanks for watching. On behalf of the crew, have a great night.